Sierra Sullivan had once led a bright, hopeful life as a seamstress, crafting elegant gowns and suits for a well-known clothing company. But 5 months after a tragic bus accident that left her completely blind, her world turned into darkness and despair. The accident had not only cost her the gift of sight, but had also driven her out of her career. In the midst of this overwhelming loss, Sierra clung to hope, even if that hope seemed fragile. One chilly evening at Central Park, Sierra accompanied her boyfriend, Andrew Adams, to their favorite spot. In her hands, she held a small paper bag, a gift she had hoped would symbolize love and support. Yet, as the park's cold breeze swept around them, the atmosphere shifted drastically. When Andrew placed the present on her lap, Sierra's heart fluttered with anticipation. But his next words shattered her fragile hope. "I'm getting married." Confused and heartbroken, Sierra struggled to understand why the man she had trusted could so casually announce that he was leaving her, replacing her with someone else. Andrew's silence in response to her desperate plea for reassurance confirmed her worst fears. Abandoned and shattered, Sierra was left alone in the park, her vulnerability exposed and her pain raw. As night deepened, Sierra found herself wandering the park with no one to guide her. Her blindness, once a mere physical condition, now seemed like an invitation for further neglect. Overwhelmed by loneliness and despair, she called out for help, her voice echoing into the empty darkness. But instead of kind assistance, she was met with derisive laughter and cruel remarks from passers-by who saw her as nothing more than a burden. Lost and desperate, Sierra barely noticed the street until she found herself stepping into a busy road. In that terrifying moment, a loud honk froze her in place, a stark reminder of how precarious her existence had become. At the very moment she braced for the inevitable impact, a strong pair of arms intercepted her fall. A stranger had pulled her out of harm's way, sparing her life with a speed and determination that left her breathless. As she struggled to regain her senses, Sierra was gently guided away by this man, whose steady voice reassured her. "What the hell are you doing? Are you trying to kill yourself?" His name was Dr. Max Carter, a handsome, compassionate billionaire doctor who ran his own clinic. Though Sierra was still overwhelmed by heartbreak, a spark of hope flickered when Max offered her more than just physical rescue. At his upscale clinic, while Sierra trembled with anxiety and despair, Max listened to her story. When she tearfully admitted that her blindness had turned her life into a series of endless losses, her career, her relationship with Andrew, Max made an unusual proposition. He could restore her sight through eye surgery, but only on one condition: Sierra had to marry him. Shocked at first by such an unorthodox arrangement, Sierra's yearning to see the world again overrode her reservations. With nothing left to lose and everything to gain, she agreed to the deal. In the days that followed, Max ran numerous tests and scheduled the delicate surgery. For Sierra, each day without sight had been filled with quiet prayers for a second chance, and now that chance had finally arrived. Max drove her to his main office in the city, where advanced technology promised a match for her eyes. The surgery was risky, and the possibility of failure haunted her. But hope had replaced despair in her heart. Against all odds, the procedure succeeded. For the first time in months, Sierra gazed upon the vibrant world around her. The colors, the shapes, even the smiling faces of strangers were a breathtaking revelation. Despite her newfound vision, Sierra's heart still ached with unresolved pain. Determined to confront her past, she attended Andrew's wedding, even though she wasn't invited. Clad in a black outfit and dark sunglasses, she blended into the crowd, her eyes fixed on the man who had once promised to stand by her side. There, at the altar, Andrew stood with his new bride, radiant and oblivious to the heartache he had inflicted. As the priest pronounced them husband and wife, Sierra's emotions surged. She vowed silently that Andrew would someday feel the same pain she had endured, a promise born of raw hurt and bitter memories. Later, while shopping at a mall, Sierra's presence once again disrupted Andrew's new life. When he and his bride tried to cut in line at a priority checkout lane, Sierra calmly revealed her identity by lowering her sunglasses to expose her restored eyes. With a cold and measured tone, she declared, "Yes, I'm still blind. I belong here." The confrontation escalated as emotions ran high. In a private moment of vulnerability, she confided that the betrayal had broken her, while also hinting at the desire for revenge. Yet, deep down, a part of her longed for a fresh start, a new life free of Andrew's shadow. That new beginning came sooner than expected. Just a month after regaining her sight, Sierra found herself walking down the aisle once more, this time as a bride. She married Dr. Max Carter, who had not only given her the gift of vision, but also filled the void left by Andrew's abandonment. With Max by her side, Sierra embraced a new identity. Taking his last name, she transformed from a heartbroken, blind seamstress into a beloved wife and the caring stepmother of his daughter, Chloe. Domestic life with Max was everything Sierra had once dreamed of. Max, a man of both strength and tenderness, treated her with unwavering love and respect. Every morning, he greeted her with warm gestures, a bouquet of red roses, a gentle kiss, and reassurances that she was cherished. Their new life together blossomed quickly. Despite occasional reminders of her past, Sierra gradually let go of her anger. Instead, she immersed herself in family moments, preparing meals, sharing laughter with Chloe, and even returning to her passion for sewing. With Max's resources and support, she reignited her creative spark and began to rebuild her career in the clothing line business. Yet the past was not so easily forgotten. Andrew, unable to completely let go of his former relationship, continued to intrude on Sierra's new life. During one particularly tense encounter in a parking lot, a drunken Andrew appeared, desperate and remorseful. As Sierra tried to maintain her composure, he pleaded with her, his voice tinged with regret and sorrow for forgiveness. But Sierra, now strong and resolute, gently rejected his apologies. "I've moved on," she declared firmly. Max's protective presence only underscored the stark difference between the man who once abandoned her and the man who now filled her life with care and security. In time, the gossip that had once haunted her began to fade. Sierra's transformation, both in appearance and spirit, became the talk of the town. Old acquaintances and even her best friend Ava marveled at how she had emerged from her darkest moments. At a cafe meeting, Ava couldn't hide her excitement. "You look gorgeous, and I bet your husband treats you like a queen," she exclaimed, congratulating Sierra on her new life. As the conversation turned to Andrew's misfortunes, it was revealed that his marriage was in turmoil. Rumors swirled that his wife's baby wasn't even his, adding another layer of scandal to the mess he had created. Sierra listened, no longer with a heart full of bitterness, but with a calm acceptance of karma at work. The relentless echoes of her past seemed finally to be fading away as Sierra embraced her role as a wife and stepmother. The loving routines, dropping Chloe off at school, sharing meals with Max, and even the occasional phone call reminding her of Andrew's lingering presence, became part of her new normal. Yet, fate had one more surprise in store for Sierra. One evening, while returning home from work, her phone rang with an unexpected call. It turned out that a bar near her home had called regarding a drunken Andrew who had been causing a scene. Despite the chaos of that night, Sierra's heart was no longer swayed by the echoes of former love. With Max at her side, she picked up a disheveled Andrew, who tearfully confessed his regrets. In that moment, Sierra realized that the past was indeed behind her, and she had no reason to cling to memories that only brought pain. Time continued its steady march, and with it, Sierra's world grew brighter. A family vacation to Max's countryside estate proved to be a turning point. Away from the noise of the city, Sierra, Max, and Chloe embraced the simple joys of life, barbecues by a lake, wide open fields, and laughter that echoed under vast skies. During one memorable day at the estate, as they strolled through the grounds and surveyed the construction of a grand new mansion, Sierra felt a surge of hope. Standing on a hill overlooking the future home, Max's eyes sparkled with dreams of a fresh start, a home filled with laughter, love, and the promise of many children. In a tender moment that encapsulated everything she had fought for, Sierra reached into her bag and produced a small, carefully wrapped box. With trembling hands, she handed it to Max. When he opened it, his jaw dropped in astonishment. "Is this real?" he asked, his voice filled with both disbelief and joy. Sierra's quiet nod confirmed the life-changing news. She was pregnant. In that instant, the past's painful chapters gave way to the promise of a new beginning. Max's delight was infectious. He lifted Sierra into his arms and spun her around, exclaiming, "You're going to be a mom again." The news transformed their family celebration as little Chloe burst into excitement at the prospect of becoming a big sister. As the months passed, Sierra's life blossomed in ways she had never imagined possible. Gone were the days of feeling discarded and alone. With Max's loving support and the infectious energy of Chloe, Sierra rediscovered her passion for life and her creative talents. She returned to her sewing work, using her regained sight to design new collections for Max's clothing line. At work, colleagues greeted her with admiration. No longer did they see a broken woman, but a resilient individual who had transformed her pain into strength. The social media posts of her and her new family sparked conversations, and, even though whispers about Andrew's misfortunes persisted, Sierra's heart had healed. One evening, as she and Max relaxed at home after a busy day, Sierra reflected on how far she had come. Once blind and abandoned, she now lived in a world of light, both literally and metaphorically. With every passing day, the warmth of her family and the steady support of her husband reminded her that true happiness was found not in clinging to the past, but in embracing the future. The scars left by Andrew's betrayal slowly faded, replaced by the vibrant colors of a life rebuilt with love and hope. Standing together on the balcony under a starlit sky, Max and Sierra held hands as they looked out over the horizon, dreaming of the days to come. In that quiet moment, all the pain of the past was eclipsed by the promise of new beginnings. With a full heart and a bright future ahead, Sierra knew that no darkness could ever truly dim the light they now shared as a family. And so, with renewed hope and unwavering love, Sierra's journey, from the depths of despair to the heights of joy, became a testament to the power of second chances and the healing strength of true love.